Thank you for stopping by. I am Tutor Cletus Okoli. Today, I'll be teaching quadratic equation using completing the square method. We have four methods of solving quadratic equation. One is called factorization method. The second one is called quadratic formula, which I have done video on it. The third one is completing the square method, and the fourth one is graphical method. So I have two examples to explain completing the square method of solving quadratic equation. So diving into the first example, I have 3x raised to the power 2 minus 13x minus 10 equal to 0. See, we are going to take 7 steps on this question and we will get our answer. That 7 steps, the first one is to move the constant, which is minus 10, to the right hand side. So I will now write 3x squared minus 13x equal to 10. I have taken first step, remaining 6 steps out of 7. So the second step is I want to make the coefficient of x raised to the power 2 to be 1. And to do that, I will divide all through by 3. So if I divide here by 3, I will get x raised to the power 2 minus 13 over 3x equal to 10 over 3. I have taken second step. Remember, there are 7 steps. Now, the third one is I will come to this x, take the coefficient of x, I will divide it by 2. After dividing it by 2, I will raise it to power 2. I will add it to the right hand side and also add it to the left hand side. I repeat it. I will come to x and find the coefficient of x, and the coefficient of x there is minus 13 over 3. I will divide that minus 13 over 3 by 2. Divide by 2. Then, which is the same thing as minus 13 over 3 times 1 over 2, and it is going to give me minus 13 over 6. So, if I divide the coefficient of x by 2, I will get minus 13 over 6. Then, that minus 13 over 6, I will raise it to power 2, add it to the left hand side, and also add it to the right hand side. So, I will now have x raised to power 2, x raised to power 2 minus 13 over 3x, then plus minus 13 over 6 raised to the power 2 equal to 10 all over 3, then plus minus 13 over 6 raised to the power 2. What have I done? I added this one to the left and I added it also to the right. That is called the third step. Remember, there are 4 of them, the third step. So, what is the fourth step? The fourth step is come to the left hand side, take those ones that are squared and use one common square for them. What do I mean? X is raised to the power 2. Minus 13 over 6 is raised to the power 2. I will write it like this. Okay? All raised to the power 2. So, I use one common square to hold those ones that are squared. I will now come to the right hand side and solve it to get one answer. That is 10 over 3 plus minus 13 raised to the power 2 is 169 positive. And the 6 raised to the power 2 is 36. LCM is 36. 3 into 36 is 12 times 10, 120. 36 here is 1 times 169 will give me 169. If I plus the 2, I am going to get 289 all over 36. Now, I came to the right hand side. I solved everything there. I got one answer. That one answer is 289 all over 36. That is the fourth step. I now go to the fifth step out of 7. The fifth step, I will take square root of both sides. If you square the left hand side, you are going to get x minus 13 all over 6. And when you square the right hand side, you get plus or minus 17 over 6. Because the square root of 289 is 17. And the square root of 36 is 6. So I have taken the fifth step. Now, the sixth step is to make x to be independent. That is subject of the formula, subject of the relation. What does it mean? I will carry this minus 13 over 6 to the right hand side. And when I do that, it will look like this. 13 over 6 plus or minus 17 all over 6. So x is now alone because it is x that I am looking for. Okay? So now, what is the seventh step, which is the last step? The last step is to, since I have plus or minus, I will take plus to get the first answer and take minus to get the second answer. How to do it? I will have x is equal to 13 over 6 plus 17 over 6. 13 over 6 plus 17 over 6. Or I will take x equal to 13 over 6 minus 17 over 6. Since I have plus or minus, that is the final step, the seventh step that gives us the correct answer. So therefore, if I do this, I'm going to get 13 plus 17 is 30 over 6, which is equal to 5. And the 13 minus 17 is going to give me minus 4 over 6, which is negative 2 over 3. So my final answers now are x equal to 5 or x equal to minus 2 over 3. Very correct. Remember to subscribe in order to support me. Nobody will deduct any kobo or cent or pence for subscribing. Thank you. I want to do number 2. I don't want you to leave the video. This is the first example. This second example now will be easier because the first example has given us a clue on how to do it. Now watch out here. You will even say what you want to do before I do it. Now let's dive in. The first one, move it to the right hand side. So I have 2x raised to the power 2 minus 3x equal to 5. I have moved the constant, which is minus 5, to the right hand side. Second step, I want to make the coefficient of x squared to become 1. To do that, I will divide it by 2. So I have x raised to the power 2 minus 3 over 2x equal to 5 over 2. So I divided everything there by 2. Therefore, here now, 2 has cleared. The coefficient of x squared now is 1. So this place will now be minus 3 over 2, while here will be 5 over 2. What is the third step? This is second step. What is the third step? Do you have it in your mind? Alright, the third step is to come to this x, take the coefficient, and the coefficient is minus 3 over 2. So when I take it, I will divide it by 2. I will square it, add it to the left, add it to the right. So when I do that, minus 3 over 2 divided by 2 over 1 is the same as minus 3 over 2 times 1 over 2, which will give me minus 3 over 4. So half of this minus 3 over 2 is minus 3 over 4. I will now raise it to power 2 like this, and then add it to the left and to the right. I will now have x raised to power 2 minus 3 over 2x. Then adding it to the left means minus 3 over 4 raised to power 2 equal to 5 over 2. Then adding to the right, it will be minus 3 over 4 raised to power 2. I have taken the third step. I will go to the fourth one. You know the fourth one says, come to the left hand side. Those ones that are squared, use one common square for them. So x raised to power 2 minus 3 over 4 raised to power 2. I will now write x minus 3 over 4, both of them raised to power 2. I have done that by the left hand side. I will go to the right hand side and solve it to get one value like I did here. The moment you put those ones that are squared and use one common square for them, you now go to the right hand side and solve it and get one value. So that is what we want to do here. Mass is sweet. Alright, so I have 5 over 2 plus minus 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. LCM is 16. 2 here is 8 times this 40. 16 here is 1 times this is 9. So if I plus, I get 49 over 16. I have also solved those ones by the right hand side, and I got 49 over 16. So I have taken 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. I will take the fifth one, 5th, 6th, 7th. The video will be over. Then what will I do? I will take square root of both sides. If I take square root of this left hand side, these two will just disappear. I will get x minus 3 over 4. If I take square root of the right hand side, what I will now have is plus or minus 7 over 4. Because the square root of 49 is 7 and the square root of 36 of 16 is 4. What is the sixth step? This is the fifth. What will be the sixth one? I will make x to be alone, just as I did here. X minus 13 over 6. I moved it to this side. So I'm going to move minus 3 over 4 to the right hand side, making x to be independent subject of the formula. So I will now have x equal to 3 over 4 plus or minus 7 all over 4. Okay, that is the sixth step. And what is the last step, which is the seventh step that gives us the answer? I will take plus, get the first answer, and I will do subtraction to get the second answer. So the seventh step is 3 over 4 plus 7 over 4, or 3 over 4 minus 7 over 4. So if I do this, I'm going to get 3 plus 7 is 10 over 4, which is 5 over 2. And this side, 3 minus 7 will give me minus 4 over 4, which is minus 1. Meaning that my final answer for x here will be 2.5 or minus 1. These are the answers. So I have given 2 examples in this video explaining quadratic equation using the method of completing the square. Also, I have done video on formula method, which is called quadratic formula. You can still see it in my channel. God bless you for staying till the end of this video. Remember to subscribe. Thank you.